So, this video was brought on by just a random thought I had watching a few episodes of Danny Phantom. Holy shit, is he powerful? Right? Like, I'm not the only one who thought, like, watching Danny Phantom and realized, like, just how godlike he could possibly become. And, like, we have, like, evidence to prove that he basically does become godlike in some capacity in the Ultimate Enemy timeline. I mean, yes, his spirit was fused with Vlad Plasmius, but we do see, even in that show, there's a point where he uses the ghost whale on his future self, and Dan Phantom is like, I couldn't do that till, like, I was in my 30s. So it does show that, like, Danny was capable of evolving his powers to, new levels. The reason why I'm kind of talking about this is, again, I watched a few episodes of Danny Phantom and just had this thought of, holy shit, he could, like, this is god-level shit, like, he could evolve to. Now, we all know his powers. Walk through walls, disappear, and fly. It's in the song. He's much more interesting than the other guy, the yada, yada, yada. But between, the ecto beams, the ghost whale, the power to shoot ice blasts, then later he could multiply himself. It wasn't good, but we can imagine that, once he masters that ability, he can just be everywhere, man. Intangibility, which like whole ass bullets could just pass right through him. Invisibility, and it makes you wonder of, like, how powerful could he become? And we even know that he is pretty fast. They have what was it? 115 miles was his top speed. That's almost Mach 2. I'm pretty sure if Danny could keep at his strength, his power at training, if we saw more of that throughout the show, I am very certain that Danny could probably break the sound barrier at his flight, during one of his flights. We also know that Danny's getting progressively stronger. Now, that one I can't really fault. Like, I can't really say for certain, because, again, that could be writer inconsistency, because we do see in a lot of it that Danny's power, strength level, fluctuates. It very much it's constantly in a flux in one capacity or another. Such is the case, like, he's able to pick up a school bus and put it back down, and the school bus is full of kids. Keep that in mind. There's another point where it's like he was able to, like, pick up a wall and a solid concrete wall and push it aside. But then there's other times where he's, like, struggling to pick something up that's incredibly heavy. Again, I think that's more on writers than anything else. But strength-wise, if we go by that thought process, it's very obvious that Danny's, like, could get physically stronger as he progresses in his life, is continuously training. And I think that's just something that I don't think we take, that's something I think we take for granted as the fans. But I was just kind of thinking, how far could he evolve his powers? This is where my mind was kind of going, was how far could he go until it was, until he basically could be unstoppable. Because at this point, yeah, he would probably be one of the most powerful beings later in life. I'm not saying, like, he'd be like Dr. Manhattan, but, like, he'd probably be, like, the guy. He'd, like, whenever there would be a ghost zone invasion, he'd be like, nah, you're going back in. Why? Because I'm him. Oh, you Danny Phantom, I'm going back. Never mind. That's what I feel like it more or less would become, is that Danny would have this, like, evolution of his powers. Like, again, multiply himself. He could literally just multiply himself and have variants of him watching over different parts of the world, like his own little Green Lantern Corps. That's a fucking sentence. You also have, I'm just gonna switch on this light because I'm losing the sunlight here. You also have this whole thing of Danny controlling ice powers. Could theoretically his powers evolve to the point where he could control, like, create literally a blizzard Could he do that? Could his ghost whale shatter, multiple, like, glass from a mile wide radius? Or could he just, remember, that's when the Dan Phantom variant could essentially, what it could do was just wipe out a whole ghost zone ghost shield, and more or less damage electronics. Again, how strong could that whale be once he gets that mastery of it on his own? Again, I have to stress, that was, again, he was fused with Vlad's ghost side, so that's a whole other thing. But again, he did get it faster during his fight in Ultimate Enemy. So yeah, it also makes me wonder of, like, how, again, I don't know, could a nuke kill Danny? Because here's another thing I don't think people realize about the character, is that Danny could be immortal. Like, could he just turn intangible and survive the nuclear blast? And on top of that, would radiation be able to harm him? Can you even kill him? But what I mean by that is, and I'm going to talk, like, this is going to sound weird, but could you even kill Danny Phantom? Because you could, even if you killed him in his mortal form, he's just going to come back in his ghost self. Pretty pissed off, probably. So that leads us to another question. If he goes, like, full Phantom, is he quintessentially immortal? Can he keep aging? Or if he does, is he just aging really, 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 really slow? I know I'm probably overthinking this, but I was just kind of like, huh. Like, just after watching a few episodes, I was just of this mindset of, I think he might be, like, really strong, guys. I don't think we always thought, haha, Danny Phantom was always always kind of strong, but to this extent, like, when you really think about it and how far he could go power-wise, and how far he could go, like, what other powers could he, like, that's another thing. Could he theoretically evolve more powers as he ages? Like, what could those powers be? I don't know if I'm not saying, like, he could just control the periodic table, but, like, the fact that he could just do all these powers says a lot. So, like I said, his ice powers could probably evolve to, like, creating just a blizzard. Or could he, take on the abilities of other ghosts? That's another question. I don't think that one's possible, but I remember someone saying theoretically that could be a way his ghost form could take it, but I'm not 100% on that one. But yeah, I just decided to do this as a random video and just ask the question, how powerful could Danny Phantom be? Or how powerful do you think Danny Phantom could become? I just wanted to throw this out as a fun little video for everyone to talk about. So yeah, just tell me in the comments below, how powerful do you think Danny Phantom could become? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.